The Galactic Empire sought to scar humans. Enemy warships appeared, humans just laughed. HFY, the Galactic Empire, was vast and powerful. It controlled hundreds of star systems. Its ships were huge and weapons were deadly. Everywhere the Empire went, it demanded obedience. Fear was their tool. They believed no one could face them without trembling. One day, the Empire decided to send a message to Earth. Earth was a small planet far from the Empire's center. Humans were curious, creative, and sometimes reckless. The Empire had heard rumors that humans did not always obey others easily. They wanted to test them. "They must learn fear," said Admiral Carl Stroud, sitting in the command room of the Empire flagship. The walls glowed with red light from hundreds of screens. His officers watched him quietly. "Sir, do you think they will surrender?" asked Lieutenant Vega, a young officer with sharp eyes. "They will," Stroud said with confidence. "They cannot imagine the power we hold. A few ships in orbit, and they will fall in line." The Empire sent the message across the stars. It was clear, loud, and threatening. "The humans of Earth," the message said, "you are far from safety. Surrender now or face destruction. Our warships approach. Resistance is useless. Obedience will save you. Defiance will destroy you." The message traveled at the speed of light, reaching the Earth in a matter of hours. On Earth, the message arrived at a global communication center. Inside, Captain Jack Carter read it on a screen. He was a calm man, in his early 40s, with short brown hair and steady eyes. Next to him stood Lisa Brown, an engineer, and Kevin Morris, an analyst. They had all seen strange messages before, but nothing like this. Jack leaned back in his chair. "Well," he said slowly, "they certainly know how to make an entrance." Lisa laughed. The Galactic Empire sought to scar humans. Enemy warships appeared. Humans just laughed. HFY. "I thought humans were afraid of nothing, but apparently the Empire wants to test us." Kevin shook his head. "Look at this. They are huge, and they are serious. The warships are already at the edge of our system. This is not a drill." "I know," Jack said. He rubbed his chin. "But notice how calm we are. We are alive, we are prepared, and we are not panicking. That counts for something." Lisa tapped the screen. The Empire ships appeared as small dots at first, then larger, closer, more threatening. The ships were enormous, shaped like triangles and circles with lights blinking all over. Each ship was bigger than any human city. The Empire wanted to scare humans with their size and weapons. On the Empire side, the officers were watching human reactions. They expected screams, confusion, chaos. They expected humans to hide or surrender immediately. Instead, they saw laughter. Yes, laughter. Humans on Earth were not hiding. Children played in parks, families ate meals, and soldiers trained in bases. News channels broadcast calm discussions, not fear. The Empire spies reported everything. The Admiral could not understand it. "This is impossible," he said. "They should be terrified. Our ships are enormous. Our weapons are powerful. They cannot laugh at us." "Maybe they are slow," one officer suggested. "Maybe they do not understand the threat yet." "No," the Admiral said. "They understand perfectly. They are laughing at us." Back on Earth, Jack and Lisa organized teams. They did not panic. They prepared ships and weapons, but calmly. They ran simulations, checked engines, and made sure everyone knew their duties. The humans did not underestimate the Empire, but they did not fear it either. "Fear is not our tool," Jack said. "Preparation and understanding are our tools. We will use brains, not panic." "I like that," Lisa said. "And maybe we can have a little fun?" Kevin nodded. "Fun sounds good." It might confuse them too. The Empire sent scouts closer to observe. Small ships approached Earth, scanning cities, satellites, and human fleets. The scouts reported that humans were doing exercises that seemed strange. Some ships moved in patterns that made no sense to the Empire. Others stayed still as if daring them to come closer. Humans were smiling, laughing, and still very alert. "They are fools," said Admiral Stroud. "They do not fear death. They do not understand power. We will crush them if we need to." But the more the Empire studied humans, the more confused they became. Humans did not act like any species the Empire had met. They had courage, stubbornness, and a strange sense of humor. They joked while preparing for war. They trained while laughing, and they seemed to enjoy challenges. On Earth, Jack met with a council of leaders. Among them were Emma Taylor, a scientist, Ryan Scott, a military strategist, and Maria Fields, a diplomat. "The Empire thinks fear controls everyone," Maria said. "They will be surprised." "We cannot underestimate them," Ryan said. "Their weapons are powerful, but their understanding of humans is weak." Emma looked at the screens showing enemy ships. "They do not understand us. They think size equals power. They do not see how small humans can be smart, fast, and creative." Jack nodded. "Exactly. We will not panic. We will not surrender. We will prepare and respond. Let them try to scare us. We will laugh." Meanwhile, on the Empire ships, officers were growing frustrated. They had sent messages, threats, and scouts. Humans ignored everything or laughed. The Empire had never seen such behavior. In their history, everyone surrendered when faced with overwhelming power. "Everyone! They cannot be serious," one officer said. "They must be hiding something." "Maybe," Stroud said. "But if we see courage, we must destroy it." Fear is the only language they understand. Humans were moving ships in strange formations, launching small test drones, and broadcasting messages. The messages were calm, sometimes humorous, and full of warnings. The Empire did not understand them. "They are mocking us," said Stroud. "They dare mock the Galactic Empire?" "Perhaps," an officer said. "Or perhaps they are insane." "Either way," Stroud said, "we will show them power." But the humans were ready. Small fleets moved silently, monitoring the Empire. Communication channels were open. Civilians were aware but not scared. Families gathered. Engineers worked. Soldiers trained. And leaders prepared strategies. "Fear will not help them," Jack said quietly. "We will not fight blindly. We will fight smart. We will not panic. We will laugh if we must." And so the first stage of the conflict began. The Empire sent ships to intimidate humans. Humans watched, prepared, and laughed. The Empire had never faced a species that treated threats with calm and humor. Across the galaxy, observers wondered what humans would do next. The humans of Earth were united, calm, and ready. Fear did not rule them. Preparation, intelligence, and courage did. They waited for the Empire's next move, not with panic, but with quiet confidence. And that confidence, that calm bravery, would soon surprise the galaxy. The Empire was confused. No species had ever reacted like humans. They sent more warships, larger and more powerful, into the outer edges of the solar system. Their goal was clear: scare humans into surrendering. On Earth, Captain Jack Carter and his team were calm. He gathered Lisa Brown, Kevin Morris, Emma Taylor, and Ryan Scott in the operations room. The screen showed the enemy fleet moving closer, their ships glowing with energy weapons, ready to fire. "They think bigger ships mean more fear," Jack said. "But humans are not that simple. Size does not scare us. Understanding does." Emma nodded. She was a scientist in charge of analyzing alien technology. "I've looked at their ships," she said. "They are powerful, yes, but they have weaknesses. Their weapons overheat, their engines take time to recharge, and their communication signals are predictable. If we act smart, we can handle them." "And we will," Ryan added. "But we cannot fight blindly. We need tactics. We need to use speed, surprise, and intelligence. If we rely on strength alone, we will lose." Lisa leaned over the navigation console. "I've been running simulations. If we place small fleets in the right positions, we can force them to retreat. They will expect panic, confusion, and fear. Instead, we will move calmly, act together, and outsmart them." Kevin smiled. "That will confuse them." They will not understand why humans are not afraid. Jack agreed. Exactly. Fear is a language they speak well, but humans speak strategy, and sometimes humor. On the Empire side, Admiral Carl Stroud was losing patience. He called a meeting with his top officers. The humans are not scared, he said. They laugh, they train, they plan calmly. This is unacceptable. Every species we have conquered falls into fear immediately. Why not them? Lieutenant Vega spoke carefully. Sir, they are unpredictable. Their behavior does not match any species we know. They may have unknown strengths. Unknown strengths do not matter, Stroud said angrily. We have weapons that can destroy planets. Their species is small. We will show them power. They will obey. But the humans did not react with fear. They reacted with calm observation and preparation. They launched small drones near the Empire scouts. These drones scanned enemy ships, tested shields, and sent data back to Earth. The Empire thought these were random movements. They were not. Every drone had a purpose. Every maneuver was calculated. They are testing us, one Empire officer said. But why so calmly? Why no panic? Perhaps they are insane, another officer suggested. Or perhaps, Stroud said quietly, they are clever. And clever is dangerous. On Earth, humans work together like never before. Engineers repaired old ships, scientists studied alien technology, and military strategists planned for every possible scenario. Even civilians contributed. Programmers monitored enemy communications, logistics teams prepared supplies, and young pilots trained for potential combat. Jason Miller, a young pilot, practiced maneuvers in a simulator. Sophie Grant, another pilot, watched and gave advice. Remember, she said, the Empire expects panic. They expect mistakes. If we stay calm, we have the advantage. I know, Jason said, but their ships are enormous. How can a few human fighters make a difference? Brains over brawn, Sophie replied. Size does not win battles. Strategy does. On the Empire side, scouts reported human movements. They saw fleets moving in patterns they could not understand. They saw messages broadcast across space, full of calm warnings and strange humor. Humans joked about the Empire's shapes, about the bright lights, about how serious the Empire seemed. The Empire did not understand humor. They saw it as mockery. They mock us, Stroud shouted. How dare they mock the Galactic Empire? Perhaps it is a form of communication we do not understand, an officer suggested. No, Stroud said. It is arrogance. They will learn fear, and they will learn it the hard way. On Earth, Captain Jack Carter called a meeting with his top crew. We are about to see their next move, he said. Do not panic. Do not react to fear. Observe, analyze, and act. Lisa pointed at the screen. Their fleet is splitting into two groups. One is heading toward the outer planets, the other toward our main space station. It looks like they want to scare us with size. Two fleets at once. Good, Jack said. We can use that. We can trap them, make them waste energy, and show them that humans do not panic. Kevin smiled. We will give them order. They expect fear. We will give them confidence. The humans prepared quietly. They moved small fleets to strategic positions, launched reconnaissance drones, and set up communication channels. Civilians on Earth continued life as normal, but many volunteered for training or support roles. Everyone contributed. On the Empire side, Stroud grew impatient. They are not reacting, he shouted. Send more ships. Make them fear us. But as more ships arrived, humans adapted. Small human fleets shadowed the Empire ships, studying movements. Engineers like Lisa and Emma sent feedback to pilots about weak points and safe paths. Strategists like Ryan calculated maneuvers that would confuse the Empire without risking human lives. They are learning quickly, one officer said nervously. Yes, Stroud said quietly. And that is dangerous. Very dangerous. Jason and Sophie trained harder. They practiced group formations that could trap larger ships, evasive maneuvers that could avoid massive weapons, and ways to disable enemy drones quickly. Each simulation was precise, each action deliberate. Humans did not panic. They learned, they improved, they adapted. Meanwhile, the Empire tried another tactic. They sent a single massive warship directly toward Earth. They believed that showing one overwhelmingly powerful vessel would scare humans into surrender. The humans observed quietly. They ran calculations, studied the ship's movement, and prepared small strike teams. "They think size will frighten us," Jack said. "But we know their weakness. We will act smart. And we can have fun too," Lisa added. "Sometimes a little confidence and humor confuses the enemy more than fear ever could." Kevin chuckled. "Let's show them humans are not easy to scare." As the massive Empire ship entered the system, humans launched small drones to probe it. They discovered weak shield points, predictable weapon patterns, and slower response times than expected. The Empire had underestimated humans. They had assumed fear was universal. It was not. Humans reacted differently. On the Empire's ship, Stroud watched. They study us? They calculate? They do not panic? "Impossible, sir," one officer said. "They may be planning something." "Then we must act before they do," Stroud said. "Show them power. Force them to surrender." But humans were ready. The small fleets moved carefully, testing the enemy ship. Pilots like Jason and Sophie executed precise maneuvers. They did not attack blindly. They observed, learned, and adapted. Drones relayed real-time data back to command. Every human ship acted as part of a single system, coordinated, calm, and prepared. "They are treating this like a game," Stroud muttered. "But it is serious war." "Why do they laugh?" Perhaps an officer said, "They do not fear death. They may be too confident, or too clever." "Clever is dangerous," Stroud said quietly. "We have never faced a species like this. Never." On Earth, the leaders of humanity smiled quietly. They knew the Empire thought fear was universal. They knew the Empire assumed weakness and laughter. Humans were strong in ways the Empire did not understand. Preparation, intelligence, and calm courage were their weapons. Jack looked at the fleet movements. "They will attack eventually," he said. "But when they do, they will not see panic. They will see strategy. They will see humans acting together. And they will learn that size does not scare us." Lisa nodded. "And maybe they will learn humor too," Kevin smiled. "Or at least confusion. Humans confuse very easily. Humans calm. Humans clever."
Emma tapped on her console.
"Their weapons are powerful but not perfect. Their energy pulses take time to recharge. If we time our actions, we can avoid damage and force them to retreat," Ryan added. "And if they retreat, they will learn something they have never known. Humans are not afraid." As the Empire fleets moved closer, preparing for confrontation, humans waited calmly. They had no fear, only preparation. They had no panic, only focus. They had no doubt, only strategy. And that calm, that focus, that unity would begin to show the Empire something unexpected. The humans of Earth had learned that laughter, courage, and intelligence were stronger than fear. The Empire for the first time did not know how to respond. The humans were calm, clever, and ready. And soon, the first small clash would surprise everyone. The galaxy watched quietly. The Empire thought humans would surrender. Humans thought only of preparation. The first lessons were about to begin. The Empire fleet moved closer. Massive warships glided silently through space, their engines glowing red. They expected humans to panic. They expected surrender. They expected fear. But humans were calm. Humans were ready. Captain Jack Carter stood on the bridge of a human command ship. Around him were Lisa Brown, Kevin Morris, Emma Taylor, and Ryan Scott. Small screens showed enemy movements, fleet positions, and possible weak points. "They are coming," Jack said quietly. "We need to act carefully. No panic. No mistakes. Lisa checked the navigation systems. I've calculated the best positions for our ships. If we place fleets here and here, we can control their approach and protect our planets. Good, Jack said. Small fleets, smart moves. Let them think they are in control. We will show them they are not. Kevin pointed at the screen. I've been analyzing their energy pulses. If we time our maneuvers right, we can avoid their strongest weapons. They fire in patterns, predictable patterns. Emma nodded. And we can use drones to distract them. Their sensors are strong, but our numbers and speed can confuse them. They do not understand our tactics yet. On the Empire flagship, Admiral Carl Stroud watched. They are calm, he said.
How is this possible? Every species we conquer falls into fear immediately.
Why not them? Sir, they may be intelligent, one officer said. They act together. They plan. They learn quickly. Intelligent is dangerous, Stroud muttered. We will crush them before their cleverness becomes a problem. The first human fleets moved quietly. Small strike groups shadowed the Empire ships. They did not attack blindly. They observed, learned, and adapted. Every human ship acted like a part of a single system, coordinated and calm. Pilot Jason Miller maneuvered his fighter through asteroid fields. Beside him, Sophie Grant checked shields and weapons. Remember, she said, we are not reckless. We are smart. We strike where they are weakest, then retreat if necessary.
Understood, Jason said.
Let's confuse them. The Empire fleet detected the human movements. They are preparing an ambush, one officer said. We must attack immediately. No, Stroud said. Let them reveal themselves. They do not fear us. We will see their arrogance, and we will crush it. Humans launched drones first. They zipped around the Empire ships, scanning, distracting, and gathering data. The Empire tried to target the drones, but there were too many, too fast, and too small. The Empire's weapons hit empty space more often than the drones. Jack smiled. They are learning the hard way, he said. Size alone does not win battles. Emma tapped her console. We have their patterns. Their weapons pulse in predictable sequences. Our ships can move in between pulses safely. We can force them to waste energy, Lisa added. And their shields take time to recharge after each pulse. If we time our strikes right, we can disable a ship before it can respond. The first clash began quietly. A small human strike group moved close to an Empire warship. The humans avoided main weapons and launched precise attacks on engines and communication arrays. The Empire ship was surprised. Humans were faster than expected and struck where it was weak.
What? Stroud shouted. They are attacking one ship and surviving?
Impossible, sir, an officer said nervously. They are clever. They do not panic. They calculate. They are mocking us, Stroud yelled. Destroy them immediately. But humans had already retreated. Small fleets moved in and out, hitting weak points, avoiding heavy weapons, and confusing the enemy. The Empire could not predict human actions. Every strike was planned but unpredictable to them.
On Earth, Captain Jack Carter gathered his crew. They expect chaos.
We give them order. They expect fear. We give them confidence. Remember, every move is deliberate. Every strike has a purpose. And humor helps, Lisa added with a smile. If they get confused by our calm, even better. Kevin laughed softly. They call us reckless. But we are precise. They call us foolish. But we are smart. They fear size. We fear nothing. Emma checked the screens. Their ship is disabled, she said. We did not destroy it completely. We showed power, but we avoided unnecessary risk. The Empire will understand something soon. Ryan nodded. They're learning now that humans do not react like others. They cannot scare us with threats. The Empire flagship sent more warships. They tried to flank human fleets, to surround them. But humans moved carefully. They avoided traps, used asteroids for cover, and attacked weak points. Every movement was deliberate. Every maneuver was controlled.
They are impossible to scare, Stroud said. We have weapons, size, and firepower.
Yet they remain calm. They do not panic. They do not surrender. How is this possible?
Sir, an officer said quietly, perhaps they are stronger than we believed.
Perhaps they are. Dangerous.
Dangerous?
Stroud repeated. We have never met a species like this. Dangerous? Yes, but we will destroy them. Small human fleets worked together. Pilot Jason Miller led a strike on an Empire cruiser, while Sophie Grant guided a support team to disable enemy weapons. Drones distracted sensors. Human ships coordinated attacks with precision. The Empire could not predict their moves. Their fleet formations were designed for fear, not strategy. Sir, an officer reported, they are using our patterns against us. Every time we try to attack, they avoid us and strike where we are weak.
Unacceptable, Stroud shouted. Increase firepower.
Destroy them now! Humans responded not with panic but with calm strategy. They moved in small groups, striking weak points, retreating, and striking again. The Empire ships fired massive weapons but often wasted energy. Human pilots avoided collisions, predicted pulses, and acted as one.
On Earth, Captain Jack Carter smiled. They think fear controls everyone, he said.
They are learning that humans are not controlled by fear. They will think twice after this. Emma added, they will be cautious now. They will never underestimate humans again. We have shown them precision, calm, and courage. The first significant damage occurred to the Empire fleet. A single human ship managed to disable several enemy vessels using careful strikes and drones. The Empire officers were stunned. No one had ever done this before. Their ships were powerful, but their tactics were predictable. Humans were not.
They cannot be this clever, Stroud shouted. We have never faced such resistance.
Destroy them all. Sir, an officer said, if we continue to attack without caution, we may lose more ships. They are smarter than we thought. I do not care, Stroud shouted. Destroy them or we will destroy ourselves trying. But humans were not reckless. They struck, retreated, and observed. They learned from each encounter, adapting faster than the Empire could. They laughed quietly during operations, sometimes joking about the Empire ship's movements or designs. This confused the Empire even more. They could not understand calm, clever, or humor. Pilot Jason Miller said, they think size scares us. They think firepower scares us. But none of that matters. We are calm, precise, and coordinated. That is more dangerous than anything they have. Sophie Grant nodded. Exactly. Humans are united. They cannot scare us because we do not fear. The Empire suffered heavy losses in the first engagement. Several warships were disabled. Their crew was confused and frustrated. Stroud could not understand how humans could fight with calm, laughter, and intelligence.
They are impossible to intimidate, an officer said. Every move we make, they counter.
Every threat, they ignore. Every weapon, they avoid. They do not fear us at all.
Dangerous, Stroud muttered.
Humans are dangerous. Jack Carter watched the screens. He felt pride for the crew and civilians.
This is only the beginning, he said. We will show them that fear does not control humans.
Preparation, intelligence, and courage control humans. They will learn this, or they will retreat. Lisa smiled, and sometimes a little humor makes strategy even stronger. Kevin laughed softly. The Empire expects panic. We give them calm. They expect fear. We give them precision. They will remember this day. Emma tapped her console. They will rethink their assumptions. They thought size and power were enough. They are learning intelligence and unity are stronger. Ryan added, and humans will fight carefully. We do not rush blindly. We act smart. That is our advantage. The Empire fleet retreated slightly, reconsidering its tactics. They could not predict humans. They could not scare humans. They had never faced such a species before.
We underestimated them, Stroud admitted quietly. We thought fear was universal.
We were wrong. Humans are unlike any species we have met. They do not fear. They do not panic. They adapt. They are dangerous. On Earth, humans prepared for the next stage. They repaired ships, trained pilots, studied enemy tactics, and strengthened defenses. They celebrated quietly, knowing they had proven something important. Humans could not be intimidated. Humans could not be scared, and the galaxy began to take notice. When humans acted, they acted with courage, intelligence, and unity. The Empire had thought them weak. Now, the Empire would think twice before trying to scare humans again. The humans of Earth had won the first lesson. Size and firepower alone could not control them. Courage, intelligence, preparation, and calm strategy were stronger, and the Empire would remember this day forever. The calm humans had shown the first sign of what the galaxy would soon call humans were impossible to scare. The Empire was shocked. Their massive fleet, powerful weapons, and overwhelming size had not frightened humans. Humans had fought calmly, intelligently, and with precision. The Empire had expected surrender, panic, or chaos. Instead, they saw laughter, strategy, and courage. Captain Jack Carter stood on the bridge of the human command ship. Lisa Brown, Kevin Morris, Emma Taylor, and Ryan Scott stood beside him. The screens showed the remaining Empire ships trying to regroup after the first clashes. Many were damaged, some were retreating, and the rest were confused. They thought fear would control us, Jack said. But they are learning that humans do not fear. Lisa smiled.
And sometimes humans use humor as a weapon too.
Confusion is powerful, Kevin added. They have firepower, size, and numbers. We have calm, intelligence, and unity. Those are stronger than anything they expected.
Emma nodded. We can finish this without reckless attacks.
We know their weaknesses. We know their patterns. We know our strengths. Preparation and timing will win. Ryan leaned over the console. We need a final plan. If we coordinate every fleet, every drone, every pilot, we can force them to retreat completely. The Empire will not expect it. On the Empire flagship, Admiral Carl Stroud slammed his fist on the console. This cannot be happening, he shouted. They are small, weak, and yet they fight like predators. How is this possible? Sir, an officer said nervously, humans are not afraid. They act together. They adapt quickly, and they exploit every weakness. We have never faced a species like this. Perhaps we underestimated them.
Underestimated,
Stroud barked. We do not underestimate. We destroy. Prepare the fleet. We will crush them once and for all. But humans were ready. Small fleets moved in coordinated formations. Drones blocked enemy sensors. Human pilots executed maneuvers designed to confuse the Empire ships. They struck weak points, avoided massive weapons, and always stayed united. Pilot Jason Miller led a small group of fighters toward a damaged Empire cruiser beside him. Sophie Grant guided support ships to disable energy generators. Their movements were precise. The Empire could not predict their actions. They are clever, one Empire officer said nervously. Every attack is calculated. They do not panic. They strike and retreat with skill. How can they be so small and so strong?
Dangerous, Stroud muttered. Humans are dangerous.
Destroy them all! The humans struck again. One strike group targeted the Empire flagship's engines. Drones distracted its weapons while human ships disabled key systems.
The humans struck again. Pilot Jason Miller and Sophie Grant led attacks on key Empire warships, disabling engines, weapons, and communication systems.
Drones created chaos in the enemy sensors. Small human ships moved in, struck weak points, and retreated. The Empire could not coordinate against the unpredictable, precise attacks. On the human command ship, Jack Carter spoke to his team. This is it, the final push. Stay calm, follow strategy, and remember, we do not fear. We are prepared, we are united, and we are clever.
Let them see it, Lisa smiled. We have them exactly where we want.
They expect fear. We give them strategy and calm. They do not understand humans yet. Kevin added, every move is deliberate, every strike is precise. We can finish this without unnecessary loss.
Emma said, their fleet is breaking apart. Engines are failing.
Shields are down. If we act now, the Empire will retreat.
Ryan nodded. All fleets, synchronize.
Strike together, hit key points. Force retreat. The humans moved in unison. Drones blocked sensors. Small strike groups attacked weak points. The Empire tried to respond, but their fleet was scattered, damaged, and confused. Human pilots moved calmly, attacked precisely, and avoided unnecessary risk.
We cannot hold them, Stroud shouted. They are small but coordinated.
Their attacks are precise. Our fleet is failing.
Retreat, an officer whispered.
We must retreat. Retreat, Stroud roared.
We are the Galactic Empire. We do not retreat. But humans had shown the Empire something new.
Size, power, and threats alone could not control humans. The Empire had no choice. Their fleet was damaged, their ships disabled, their crew demoralized. The humans were too clever, too calm, and too united. Slowly, reluctantly, the Empire began to retreat. Their massive ships pulled back, engines glowing, leaving the humans in control of the system. On Earth, humans cheered quietly. Not loud celebration, but quiet pride. They had defended their planet and system without panic, without fear, without surrender. They had fought with strategy, intelligence, and unity. And they had won. Jack Carter looked at the stars. They tried to scare us, he said. They thought size and weapons would make us fear. They were wrong. Humans cannot be intimidated. Humans fight smart, not blindly. Lisa smiled. And sometimes, humans laugh, even when the stakes are high. That confuses enemies more than anything. Kevin laughed softly. They called us reckless. We were precise. They called us small. We were clever. They thought they could scare us. We showed them humans are different. Emma nodded. The galaxy will remember this. Humans cannot be controlled by fear. Preparation, strategy, and courage win wars, not threats and size. Ryan added, and the Empire has learned something they will not forget. Humans are united, intelligent, and impossible to scare. They will think twice before challenging us again. The Empire fleet retreated, leaving the humans in control. Survivors reported back to their leaders, telling tales of the strange species that laughed at threats, acted with calm, and fought with clever precision. Humans had become legendary across the galaxy.
On Earth, Captain Jack Carter and his crew returned quietly. No grand celebration.
No loud parades, just quiet pride and relief. They had faced the Galactic Empire and won, not with panic, but with courage, intelligence, and preparation. The story spread across star systems. Humans were no longer seen as small or weak. They were clever, united, and impossible to scare. The Empire had tried to intimidate them, but humans had laughed, and that laughter had become a symbol of human strength. Children on Earth learned the story. Pilots, engineers, soldiers, and civilians all remembered. Humans face fear with courage. Humans meet threats with intelligence. Humans do not surrender to intimidation. And sometimes humans even laugh while doing it. The galaxy had learned something important. When the Empire tried to scare humans, humans did not panic. Humans did not flee. Humans fought calmly, intelligently, and effectively. Humans were impossible to scare. And from that day, the humans of Earth became a legend. Not for their size, not for their weapons, but for their courage, their strategy, and their calm strength. The Empire would never forget it. And the galaxy would always remember. Humans laugh in the face of fear. The humans had proven it. The Empire had failed. And humans had shown the true meaning of strength. But humans were learning too. They observed enemy movements, studied their technology, and calculated possible attack routes. They trained young pilots like Jason Miller, Sophie Grant, and Nathan Cole. They taught them that courage was important, but strategy was more important. They ran simulations of battles, analyzed data from scouts, and prepared ships quietly. "We are not afraid," Jason said during a simulation. "We know they are big, but they are not unbeatable," Sophie smiled. "Yes, we know our limits, but we know theirs too. Size does not win wars. Brains do." Nathan nodded. "If they want to scare us, let them try. We will respond in our way." Even civilians contributed. Engineers repaired damaged satellites. Programmers built software to monitor enemy movements. And farmers and city workers kept society stable. The humans were united. Fear did not divide them. Preparation did. Everyone knew their role. Everyone helped. Back on the Empire side, the Admiral decided to send more ships. "If one fleet does not scare them, two will," he said. The new fleet was bigger and closer to Earth. The galaxy watched. Other civilizations wondered what humans would do. On Earth, humans watched too. They knew the fleet was bigger, but still they did not panic. They prepared defenses, trained new recruits, and monitored enemy activity. They treated the threat seriously but without fear. They treated it as a challenge. Jack watched the skies through a large observation window. The enemy ships reflected the sunlight, looking menacing. Yet he felt calm. "They think we will panic," he said to Lisa. "They think we will surrender. They are wrong." Lisa smiled. "Sometimes the best response to fear is laughter," Kevin added. "And planning. Never forget planning." As the Empire ships approached the human system, scouts reported human movements. The Empire fleet fired massive energy pulses, but the attacks missed. Humans had studied the patterns carefully. They moved with perfect timing. "This cannot be," Stroud shouted. "Our fleet is powerful. We are enormous." "How do they survive?" "They are human," an officer said quietly. "Perhaps that is the reason. Humans are unpredictable, calm, and clever. We cannot control them with fear." On Earth, Jack Carter smiled as he watched the screens. "Their size does not matter," he said. "They assumed fear controls everyone. It does not. Preparation, intelligence, and calm courage are stronger." Lisa pointed at the screen. "We can force them to retreat. If we strike together, coordinate fleets, and focus on weak points, they will have no choice." "Good," Jack said. "Let's do it carefully. No reckless attacks. Precise, calculated strikes. We are humans. We fight smart, not blindly. Emma checked the enemy data. Their shields are weak after repeated attacks. Their engines are damaged. If we focus on these points, we can force retreat without destroying everyone. We do not need to be cruel, just effective." Ryan nodded. "Every fleet knows their role. Timing is key. Strike together, hit weaknesses, retreat if necessary. The Empire will learn that humans cannot be intimidated." As the humans moved, the Empire grew anxious. They fired huge weapons, tried to flank, and attempted to intimidate. But humans ignored threats they could avoid and targeted vulnerabilities. Each strike was precise. Each retreat was coordinated. The Empire could not predict their actions. "How do they do this?" Stroud yelled. "Every attack is successful. Every move is planned. They are calm, even when facing our largest weapons. They are unlike any species we have met," an officer said quietly. "Their unity and strategy are unmatched. We cannot scare them. They do not panic." "Dangerous," Stroud muttered. "Humans are dangerous."